Hello and welcome to episode 67 of the Fish Tank. That was Here Comes the Sun by George Harrison. Undoubtedly my favourite guitarist of all time, and also played because it's a lovely summer's day today. So why not play Here Comes the Sun by George Harrison? So of course it's episode 67, as I say, on a baking hot day, but for some reason I've still got some kind of jumpery type thing on, but there you go. And yeah, episode 67, interesting, number 67, actually a prime number, but also if you add up the 5 consecutive prime numbers, 7, 11, 13, 17 and 19, they actually add up to the number 67. So quite interesting. Not that interesting, but interesting enough if you like maths and that kind of thing. So they say the best things in life are worth waiting for, so let's get straight on with the apology of the week. So apologies again for the delay in uploading, getting How Far Afield Can a Fish Go started, but it's now ready on the website. So if you go to www.jimbostudios.com, you'll see the poster on there, then you can save it from there, print it out, take it with you if you're going somewhere interesting, get a picture and send it in. You can either add it to the Facebook group page, or you can email it to me at vic4291@hotmail.co.uk. So basically my YouTube username with @hotmail.co.uk at the end of it, if you watch it on YouTube. So get sending them in, I'd love to see where you get to. So what's been going on this week? Well, cricket has been in the news quite a lot. The Indian Premier League has started and everything. There's suggestions that England might make an alternative to the Indian Premier League called the English Premier League. Not sure how well it could do. Could be very well. I mean, I suppose if we travelled forward in time 12 years, we could see the 2020 World Cup, because it's in 2020. Could be interesting, I don't know. It could. There's suggestions that it could be like sort of taking over the world and be the national game. You get people like going to Lords to get cured from illnesses. I mean, Lords Cricket Ground, not Lords, a place in France where people go to get cured from illnesses and stuff. They might have cricket DJs who call themselves, the MCCMC or whatever. So, have to see what happens. You can imagine people living in cities that are renamed after cricket players, like Flintoff City and Vaughanville or whatever. So it could be interesting to see what happens. Also, politics has been in the news. It was the elections on May the 1st. So Gordon Brown had the elections on May Day, and I suppose May Day's possibly a popular phrase to use. Bear in mind, May Day is sort of the warning given out by a sinking ship, possibly a metaphor for the current government. But there you go. And it also led to Boris Johnson being elected Mayor of London. I'm sorry, but that is funny. I mean, Boris Johnson of all people. Honestly, I mean, he's going to be like in charge of, organising and hosting the Olympics and that kind of thing. I mean, what Olympics are they going to be? The 2016 ones or something? I mean, he can't organise a. He couldn't organise a 2-man bus queue, is the impression you get off Boris Johnson. I don't have a clue what he's doing, but there you go. That's the way it is. Also, it's been the Grand Prix in Spain a couple of weeks ago. Interesting. Fortunately, though, there wasn't the repeat of the racism that was at the. It was like a practice thing in Barcelona. I think there was a lot of racist chants, but at the actual Grand Prix, fortunately, there was no racism. Possibly you could say typical of the Spanish to when it comes to the big event, they sort of bottle it and don't do as well as they should do, but there you go. Also controversial because Ferrari sacked their entire pit crew and replaced them with a group of chavs, because they'd heard that despite the high-tech equipment and everything that the pit crew use, they could only get the wheels off in 8 seconds, but this group of chavs could get the wheels off in 6 seconds. So it all looked good, they're all ready and impressed, but when the first Ferrari came into the pit stop, the chavs took the wheels off, 6 seconds, no problem, but they then resprayed the car, put a new badge on it, put a new spoiler on it, and went and sold it on to Benetton for 20 quid and 4 cans of Carlin. So that's just the way it is sometimes. So it's time for the celeb-ometer now. And who would I like on the show? Well, Brazilian footballer Ronaldo was involved in some, shall we say, controversy after he dropped his very, very attractive, I think it's his wife or could be girlfriend, very attractive partner off to wherever she was going. On the way back, he stopped and picked up what he thought was 3 female prostitutes, Unfortunately, there were 3 male prostitutes. So get him on the show, tell him, he could tell us what he was doing. I mean, obviously I know Ronaldo likes balls, ends him in a football player, but that doesn't mean to say you've got to pick up 3 male prostitutes. Fortunately on this occasion he didn't score. It was obviously involved in a close shave, as presumably the 3 female prostitutes. Obviously got to shave the stall to make sure they look like women. So yeah, he can come on the show and tell us what happened. Give a full rundown of the exact details and all that. So it's time for the headline of the week now, which this week comes from, not sure which paper it came from actually. I think it might have been the Times, but I'm not certain. It says, it's talking about Andrew Murray, the British tennis player. It says, Murray angry at losing his temper. So I think he's actually trying to control his anger. So obviously if he has lost his temper, then he's not done well to control his anger. And also if he's got angry at that, he's not done well to control his anger either. So you're getting angry once, he's actually got angry twice. So controversial, interesting, shall we say. And this quote of the week this week comes from Dennis Taylor, and it was said during the snooker final the other day. He said, O'Sullivan is second only to Davis and Hendry. So he'd be third then, presumably, if he's got 2 people in front of him. And Steve Davis and Stephen Hendry have obviously won more world titles, Ronnie O'Sullivan 3 world titles, but to be fair, he's possibly the most naturally talented snooker player in the world ever, but saying that, he still does have to train pretty much every day. So he's not that naturally talented, if you think about it. So there you go. It was interesting to see that there was a streaker, actually, just before the final took place as well. The commentators did the usual thing when the streaker came on. I think it was John Virgo and Willie Thorne in the commentary box said, well, I'm snookered. What John Virgo really should have said was, he should have said, look at that, Willie. Because they could have said it, implying that he was talking to Willie Thorne on the side of him, but really he was talking about a streaker. So that's really what he should have said. So there you go. And anyway, that's all for this week's Fish Tank. So get sending in your how far afield can a fish go. Either upload them to Facebook page or email them to vic4291@hotmail.co.uk. And there you go. Before I go, apparently Alistair Darling, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, has been kidnapped. Apparently these kidnappers are saying that he's been held ransom for £10 million, and if they don't get it by Friday, they will chuck loads of petrol on him and burn him. Apparently they've been inundated with donations, most people offering about a gallon of petrol, that kind of thing. So there you go, I'll see you next week. Goodbye.